Hello international students, this is Ishan. I'm a lecturer at a university in Melbourne. I'm also a social commentator and also an international relations and politics scholar. Now in this particular video, I'm going to talk about a few scams that target international students in Australia. Now just be mindful, there are many scams everywhere. I cannot cover all of them, and the ones that I'm going to talk about are specific to Australia and they're specifically targeted towards international students. This doesn't mean that other people are not targeted with the same scams, okay? But international students are victims of such scams, and there are many hundreds, thousands of cases in Australia with regards to such scams. So my intention is that you hear about these scams from me, get educated, be aware, be alert, and don't fall prey to such scamsters. So in the past there used to be a lot of scams going around Melbourne. There are different names given to the scams where someone would call up and say they need money, they need somebody in their family is very ill or sick overseas and you need to send them money. Everyone is aware of such scams. Nobody falls prey to those nowadays. But the scams get evolved. You know, scamsters learn new tricks as well. Another one that goes around and that really scares international students, it really gets them, is very common, and that scam is about deportation. So basically what happens in this particular scam is you get a phone call, somebody talks, somebody tells you, they actually know your name because they have stolen information from somewhere, okay? So they say if it's ABC on the line, you say yes it is, and they start threatening you. They tell you first of all that they are from the immigration department. The next thing they would tell you is you have probably filled in an incorrect entry in one of the forms while traveling. Now that is a serious offense because you made a mistake. You probably didn't write your spelling correctly, or they may say, to make it sound very real, they may say you accidentally wrote your surname or family name in place of the first name, and you wrote your first name in place of the family name. So what happens is, this is very believable, if you think about it, you go, well, maybe I may have made that mistake. So it's a very believable thing they try to portray. The next thing is they tell you not to hang up and to pay the fine, and if you do not pay the fine, they will send officers to your place and you will get deported. Now, warning signs. First of all, immigration department will not threaten anyone. They'll not call and say, don't hang up, pay, otherwise something will happen. So as soon as you hear something that is threatening, it's not genuine, okay? The best thing is to hang up. Don't worry about it. Even if they say, don't hang up, if you hang up, you'll get into trouble. You cannot discuss this with anyone. No, you can discuss. Of course, you're allowed to. So the first thing is, if you hear something like this, if you get a call, so-called call from the immigration department, where they say that you filled in a form incorrectly and now you have to pay a fine, otherwise you will get deported, hang up. Next part, call the immigration department. It's absolutely fine. You'll find the number on their website. Call them, tell them that you received such a phone call, and is it really true? Are they really looking for you? Most probably in almost all cases they would say no, it's not a call from them. Worst case situation, maybe you have done a mistake, but in that situation as well, you're not in trouble. They'll just say, yep, there was some accident in your form, you didn't fill it correctly, but that's okay. So don't worry. Next step, visit the local police station, file a complaint, okay? If you're not still sure, if you're still scared, ask the cops. Tell them the nature of the call, tell them the phone number that they're calling from as well. I assure you the cops will say it's a prank, it's a fake scamster call as well. So if you get such a call, don't worry, don't get tense, do not pay money. The immigration department will not ask you to pay on the phone. You will get an official letter, you will get a phone call, there will be a case announcement that will be emailed to you, it will be sent in a letter form to you. No one's going to call you and threaten you. So that's a scam. The other one is very similar. You get a call, they say don't hang up, you are in trouble, and they pretend to be from ATO, that is the Australian Taxation Office. Again, ATO is not going to call you and threaten you saying that you haven't paid your taxes correctly, etc., etc. The common scam that goes on is you get a fake phone call. They claim to be working for the ATO and they say you haven't done your taxes correctly. If you don't call back on this particular number or you don't pay a fine on the following BPay or PayPal or whatever account number, then you will have officers at your doorstep ready to arrest you. What happens is, as soon as students hear this, they think, oh, maybe I didn't fill it correctly. What if officers come to arrest me? It's all scare tactics, They want to grab you in that moment, to scare you and to grab the money off you. So once again, hang up. If someone says do not hang up, do not tell anyone, you are in trouble, it's a scam. Okay, so hang up. Once again, go to the police station, lodge a complaint, tell the cops that you got a fake call or a scamster call. Now, if you're not sure, if you are doubting yourself that maybe you did not file your taxes correctly, no problem. ATO is not going to arrest you. ATO is very lenient. They would give you a lot of chances to correct your mistakes. So call ATO, tell them, ask them to find out if they made a call to you. The best way is to call them, to tell them, I received a threatening call. I would like to check if you have made a call to me. ATO will put you on hold, or they'll call you back and they will find out in their records if they have made a call to you. So they have a log, they have a registration as well. So what happens is they'll probably give you a call back and they'll say, well, we haven't called you. It's not on our records. The last time we called you was 1 year, 2 years ago, or we have never called you. So that's one way of not falling prey to the ATO, the tax scam. Now there is another one which is making rounds and some students are falling prey to this scam, and that is the fee discount scam. Now, never ever ever pay fees through someone to your university. Okay, you will receive an official email from your university about fee payment. Go to the university website or go to the university office in the university, located within the university, and pay your fees either at that office or online on the official university website. Don't pay it through a channel. Okay, because what happens is there's a new scam going on. A friend would tell you that there is some office which has a tie-up with a university, and if you go through that office, through that agent, you will get a 20%, 40% discount in your fees. What students do is, because their friend recommends it, probably the friend is getting a commission, or the friend is also a victim, we don't know. They pay the fees to this agent, which is a heavily discounted fee. I'll give you an example. Semester fees are around 12,000 sometimes, up and down. So these agents would say you have to pay only $7,000 or $8,000. So that way students feel that they're saving $4,000, which is a big amount. And that's where they fall prey to this scam. So they end up paying the agent. The next thing you know, agent's gone, no trace of the person, your friend is in trouble as well, you are in trouble, university is asking you for fees, and it's just downhill from there. Now, universities will not accept this as a fault. You will have to pay the fees anyway. If you tell your university that you were a victim of a scam and you paid up an agent, university will say, sorry, that's not a problem, that's your fault, you have to pay us the fees. So be very careful, pay the university directly. Even if anyone's offering you a discount, it's probably a scam, or rather 100% scam. Don't pay them. So these ones are threatening calls from ATO, fake calls, threatening fake calls from the immigration department, paying fees through agents. These are the common scams that are targeted towards students. I'll also talk finally about another scam which is making rounds lately. So this scam is very smart. So remember, recap the points I told you, how to detect a scam. The first one was urgency. They'll ask you to be very quick. They will say, do not hang up. They will threaten you. They'll ask you for money. So these are all the red flags, right? The new scamsters are pretty smart. They play very cool. So listen to this one. I'll keep it very short. You will receive a letter in your letterbox with your name on it. That letter will have 2 scratch cards. It will also have a brochure of a tourism company somewhere overseas. Now, I found out this scam was actually from Malaysia, so watch out. Now, you scratch the card. One of the cards will say better luck next time. The other card will say you won $100,000 or a huge amount, $120,000. That's the second prize. Watch out. Okay, the next thing you do is you call them and say, hey, I have won this money. On the other end, they would say, oh, that's a huge amount, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. These scamsters play it very cool. They have learned, what the red flags are. So they would not rush anything. They will say, all right, congratulations, we'll get back to you. What happens next is they call you back and say, congratulations, we need your details, we need a verification, your license number, your passport, and we need to see that you actually won the prize. So send us a photo of the envelope and the actual scratch card. Believable. You do that, you send them an email, they get back to you another day or the same evening and say, well, we have done the verification, you are indeed the winner. The next part is the processing. They will ask you for your account number and they will say, everything fine, we'll pay you the money. In your mind, you're thinking, it's cool, you're not paying them, you're not shelling out money, there is nothing to lose, so it's probably not a scam. It's them who are going to pay you, correct? But hold on. What happens next is they ask you for your account number, but they do not send you the money. Instead, they'll call you the next day and they'll tell you, sorry, but there is a problem. This particular scratch card was reserved for members only, but you are not a member. So it was a human error, it was an accident, allow us to rectify it. But for that, we have to first have a meeting with our sponsors, the bigger company who is sponsoring this particular scratch card. The scratch card was reserved for members of that company only. So they'll have this fake meeting and then they'll get back to you and say, we had a huge conversation, we did our best, and finally the parent company has agreed to pay you the gift, the money, because it's a human error. The next you know is after a day, you are told to contact that particular company. Now mind you, this tourism company, the parent, the so-called parent company, these people have set up websites that look very authentic and genuine. But these websites are all fake. It's a series of websites to make it look very real, but all the websites are under the same ownership, same scamsters. The next thing is you talk to the so-called finance manager of the company or the CEO of the company who tells you they are doing a big favor on you by giving you the amount, but there's the catch. That's when they say for the transaction to be legal, they need to provide you with a letter from their government that says it's authentic money, it's not money coming from any criminal syndicate, for which they need to hire lawyers and then they have to pay the lawyer's fee. And then they request you that you pay 50% of the lawyer's fee and they will pay 50% of the lawyer's fee, which is approximately 5% of the total winning amount. Now here you go. You have won a huge amount of money and all they ask you is 5% to pay for the lawyers so you can get that official letter. That's the catch, don't pay that money. That's a scam that's taking rounds in Australia as well. It's actually targeting everyone, not just students, but something new, something that does not have those red flags, It's not a desperate call. In fact, you call them. They are not in any rush. They are very patient. They don't ask you for money right away. They get you in the whole conversation. They wait for a few days. They don't say, don't hang up. They take a nice amount of time. They make it look very authentic. And then bam, when you're really into it, you really want that money, you want to get the money that you think you have won, they'll ask you for money. So hopefully all this information was useful. Please don't fall prey to scamsters. Everyone is hardworking, but international students who come to Australia, you guys, all of you, you work very hard. You work day and night graveyard shifts to earn the money. Your families go through a lot of sacrifice. The last thing anyone wants is you falling prey to a scam and losing your money. So be alert, be aware. If you're not sure, talk to the cops, talk to your university, talk to your lecturers. If you know me, give me a call, have a chat with me as well. So stay safe, be alert.